In this podcast, I am going to be talking about this new mobile workbench I've just built. First things first, I'll get it out of the way. This is not my design. I did not design it. I am going to leave a link in the description for the original video. So the original video is quite good. Obviously the guy you see wheeling it about and putting it up is, I believe, is the guy that designed it. I think he does have plans available. I didn't purchase the plans. I've just kind of looked at it and built it around how I wanted it to work. So where this come from was I've recently just carried out some work for my brother, and it was a built-in wardrobe, and it was actually for my niece, and I have got another built-in wardrobe to do for her sister, obviously my other niece. And the setup that I had when I went over to the house to, to fit the fitted wardrobes, obviously I had the subframe to make on site, and the end panel to scribe, and a few little things, the crown moulding to fit, and whatever else. So you can only make so much in a workshop, get it there, and you still do have to do things when you get on site, obviously, as many of you will know. So the setup, I just wasn't happy with it, and I wasn't happy with, I was going down, to the van and bringing stuff upstairs. Obviously my brother helped us. It was backwards and forwards, and I wasn't too happy with that. So obviously I started thinking and started looking for some inspiration and some ideas on YouTube and on the internet, and obviously I've come across this design. So I've literally just finished building it today, and I thought it would be good just to go over. So I will put rather than me take it all apart and everything, I am going to put a quick video up, and it's basically going to show the mobility of it, pulling it around as a cart, setting it up, and the tools that are in it. So the way that I've built this, for the storage at least, was that my mindset was that I only own one, at the moment anyway, I only own one Festool tool, which is a track saw. I don't know if I'll be buying any more Festool. The Festool track saw obviously fits in here, the sustainer at least. And the thing with the sustainer, I can actually get quite a lot of other stuff in the sustainer, even with the foam, the protective foam in it. So if I want to, I can get quite, a number of other items into this, which is good. Obviously, I've got this multi-tool. I just thought it was a good idea. Again, if I'm going to somebody's house, these do come in really handy. So, I thought may as well include it. And I did have quite a deep drawer. The depth of this is 7 3/4 of an inch, and I can actually get quite a lot in this, believe it or not. So the whole thing about this was that I could basically, shove a load of tools in here, get my track saw in, and the bench folds down, and basically cart it off somewhere, wherever I'm going to carry out some work. So primarily, this is pretty much a power tool bench, although knowing me, I will be using hand saws and whatever else I use on it. But primarily, it was built, kind of as a bit of an MFT table. Once all the tools are away and everything's kind of packed up, you do have to it does have to be secured, in the way I've kind of dealt with this is that I've cut 2 nails, and these 2 nails is 2 pins, if you will, obviously go into 2 holes, and I've got 2 little oak toggles here. So they stop the draw from coming out, and they also stop, you know, anything from coming out of there. So once the tools are away, it's just a case of taking the shelf out. The legs then fold. And there is a couple of little hooks that stop the top from moving. So the top's locked into place. Got a handle that slides up, and basically this can be taken, you know, to the van, get it in the van and stuff. So as it happens, there's a lot of weight in this, and you can feel the weight, you know. There's quite a lot of tools in this at the moment, but that's the whole idea. I can have everything in one place and transport it. Obviously it's on wheels. So these are scooter wheels, 200 millimeters, seem to be working out fine. Obviously they haven't had a lot of abuse yet, so I can't really say how they're going to hold up. But once we get this somewhere, maybe to the van. So what I like about it is that I haven't actually tried this yet, but I think when I take this drawer out, quite a lot of weight in this drawer. And if need be to take the track saw out, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I should be able to actually pull this into the van. Other than that, I could maybe use some sort of a ramp, you know, even just some 3/4 inch plywood would probably be enough just to pull it into the van. But I mean, as it is, I can actually lift it. It is a bit weighty. I don't think I'd be able to lift it with all the power tools, but easy to be able to drag it into the van, you know, with a bit of a ramp. So in the original, there is actually, the shelf actually goes in here. Which mine actually does, but on the original, the guy actually has 2 slots, which I have got, and he carries his tracks in here, but I physically kind of get them in here just because of the height of the roof. So I'm not going to show you, but if I want to, I can actually put the tracks will go in. This is just my short track here, but the track will go in and it'll sit obviously on the bottom there. So it is very portable, which obviously I do like about it. And I think one of the things that really like sets it off for me, at least, is that you can really set the bench up like ridiculously quick. I think this is probably one of the quickest DIY benches anyway. I know there is some quick commercial benches you can buy, but I think what I've seen, this is probably one of the quickest DIY setups I've seen. The storage where the track saw is something unintentional that I didn't plan on, but the actual CTE, the Vestool dust extractor actually fits in there. That was totally unintended. The good thing about that is that if I want it to be in there for whatever reason, maybe I'm short on space or whatever, I can have it in there. Although it does fit underneath the shelf, and then I think that was part of the original design. Obviously I didn't design this. I do know the guy, you know, had like a lot of consideration, you know, into things like that. But another good thing that I like about the fact that I can actually fit that in is that it adds extra weight to the bench itself. So I have built a number of benches in the past, and I do know that if you've got some sort of underneath shelf or some sort of platform and you're able to add weight to it, it will add stability to the bench. So obviously I do know that. So that is one good thing about that. And even if I wanted to, I could possibly transport the CTE in there. I don't think I would, but there's that option. Again, I can't really see us doing that because it means I'd have to do the same with the... I'd either have to have the CT in there or have the track saw in there, the track saw and the sustainer. So for the stability of the bench or the legs, it does rely on this shelf. So the way I've built it is that I've just added some ply, and the ply just hooks over this little section here, which is just some half-inch birch ply. So this should have really have been some hardwood, you know, something like some ash or some beech, something like that. But a lot of this, I did use a lot of scraps up. I had a lot of scraps lying around, so I wanted to try and, you know, get them used up. So it's the same here as well. There is like a bit of a lip here, and on the opposite side I've just got some more ply. But basically when these are connected, it obviously adds stability to the legs. It stops the legs from being able to move in or out, which obviously makes the bench solid. Another thing that's also required is some leg adjusters. I got these leg adjusters off Amazon. I think they were only like something like £8, something like that. I think I got about 8 of them or something, probably less than that. I think they might have been about £5, something silly like that. So I did put 2 in, and one thing I have noticed when I've been using this as I was building it, as soon as I could use the top, I started using the top, just to kind of get a feel for it. Basically, the way I've built it, I've put some wood down here, and those are the front feet. And there's been a number of times with this floor, because this floor isn't perfectly straight. This is running out and whatnot. There's a bit of a dip in it. So if these aren't making contact sufficiently, because it's on the wheels, there is actually a little bit of movement. So I think in the very near future, maybe tomorrow, maybe I'll have to see what happens tomorrow, but maybe I might put another couple of table leg adjusters on both sides. So that'll be a total of 4. So I'll have 2 at this corner, and obviously I've got 2 in the legs, and I think that will give it more stability. Although when I have been using this, I haven't really run into any real issues with it. I am quite happy with how it's performing. Obviously I haven't really done any rigorous testing on it at this point in time. So another thing that I've kind of skimmed on is the legs. So I do believe the legs were made out of hardwood in the original, and I did actually see a German woodworker build one of these as well, and I believed he used beech on the legs. He also used beech on the rails of the legs, the supports if you will, and he also used beech on the handle slides, where I've used again just some scraps of birch plywood, 1/2 inch. I think it'll be strong enough, but again, you know, I've kind of skimmed on it. It might bite us in the bum, who knows. And there's this section here. So basically this section is just it's to build out the width. So if I choose to, I can actually put some dogs in here. So maybe I've got some material, you know, I could put some material across here. I don't know what it would be, you know, I don't know. Let's just say it's a board of some sort. So I could put that there, you know, clamp that to the leg. So I did actually think about leaving them out, and then, you know, kind of I come to my senses and thought it'd be silly to do away with that, you know, the ability to clamp like that. Another thing I really like about this, what's really been pissing us off if I'm honest, is somewhere to put the tracks for the track saw. What I like about this bench is that there's somewhere for these to go. But because I've built this, the length I've built it, one of the things I am regretting is that with the bigger tracks, the will still go in, but obviously, you know, it's sticking right out like that. So if for some reason I need to get round here, they may get in the way. If I'm doing any sawing at the end of the bench and this side of the bench is up against the wall, maybe there's a lack of space, maybe I'm in somebody's house, you know, kind of, you know, it's a bit of a shame about that. What's stopping it is the handle. So when I was building this, and before I put the handle in, I was actually able to slide this either side. So that was, when I was building it, was quite handy. When I was walking around the bench and doing whatever I was doing, I was actually able just to slide this to the other side out of the way. And when I went round the other side, same again, if I needed to, I could just shove it out the other way. So that was quite good. But when I added the handle, I lost the ability to do that, and obviously the handle needed to be added. There may be some other way, you know, I could maybe rearrange the handle. It's something I might look into, because I do really like that. The top, it is intended in the original to be an MFT top, out of MDF, I believe. So I've just used softwood ply. I use softwood ply with all the construction, and I have only screwed this down. I have sunk the screws down, so, you know, me saw or my track saw shouldn't touch any of the screws unless I'm careless. But I don't really intend on cutting into this too much. I may do a cross-cut section, but that should be it. And I don't think I would. I don't think I'll be, you know, having like loads of different, you know, cuts into it. But I have got the ability to take this off, and I have obviously got the ability to put an MFT top onto this if I choose to do so. I have put dog holes in it. There was no special jig used with this. This was just a square and a drill, basically. It's nothing special, but they don't seem to be too bad. The lineup, and I think I'd probably be able to do some sort of a cross-cut section on here. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I have got a bit of a jig to do that. So, you know, again, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Obviously, I did start using this bench when I was building it just to get a feel for it. And one of the things I did like about it is that it has got the shelf underneath. And just how I was situated with my workflow, I was keeping the track saw here. So basically, coming out, using the track saw, putting it away, and it was out my way. So I do really like that about the underside shelf. That's really good. I mean, I'm not going to fully know how it's going to perform until I start using it in the fashion that it's been fashioned for. I mean, I will be using it in the work shed. You know, it's probably going to be getting used as some sort of an MFT setup. I may build the outriggers. So for those of you that have never seen this sort of bench before, the outrigger section basically is what it sounds like. So it's just two skeletal frames, if you will, where it's just got like a lot of ribs and it's got a set of legs. So I believe on the original there was actually two, and they slid on with some T-tracks, and obviously, you know, went back. I think they went back maybe another 4 foot, just looking at it, an educated guess. So if they go back another 4 foot, I think this is about 2 foot, is that right? So this is slightly over 2 foot. So that would give you six foot by, I think this is just shy of 4 foot. Oh, 3.5 foot. So you've got 3.5 foot, at least my bench, 3.5 foot, and I could put those extenders on, then that would give us 3 foot by 6 foot. So that would give us the ability to break up a full size 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of plywood or MDF, whatever I choose to do. So I might build the attachments for that. Again, if you want to see the full original bench with those attachments, go and check out the video. Obviously I will leave a link in the description, but it is quite a good video. So the good thing about those extenders, if you will, is you can have them in a number of ways. So you can have two running down this way, which will give you at least it'll give me 3.5 foot by 6 foot, and I can basically use that to break up, you know, sheet material, a full size sheet if I choose to. There was also a setup where if you were at the end of the table, so if I was situated standing here, I could have one of the extensions on the left side and one of the extensions on the right side, and that would actually accommodate a miter saw, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't actually own a miter saw, but you know, obviously those that do have one and use one on a regular basis, it would be quite good for that. You've got the miter saw in the middle, you've got 4 foot extension that way and 4 foot extension that way, so that's a total of 4, 8, 9, 10. That's a total of 10 foot. So it's like a 5 foot centre to the centre of your miter saw, which is pretty cool. The good thing about the extensions is because it's kind of like a rib, you know, a rib construction, it looks extremely light, and it will be extremely light. So guys, let us know what you think in the comment. I'm going to leave it there for today. I think I've blabbered on enough about this little bench. It's probably just time to start using it and see how it performs, I guess. So until the next time, I shall see and speak to you guys later.